So good afternoon from Mumbai, India. And my name is Brahma Prakash Gaur. I'm introducing myself because there are some new persons joining us today. And let us begin with a prayer invoking the principle of grace that is responsible for everything that is noble in our lives. So just become aware of your breath. And when we become aware of the breath, we are connected to both the body and the mind because the breath is the bridge. Whatever goes on in the mind is reflected in the breath and is passed on to the body, and whatever goes on in the body is reflected in the breath and is passed on to the mind. But when we become aware of the breath, then both the body and mind begin to settle down, and we can rest in the space of the heart with a feeling of peace and prayerfulness. So it is from this space that we offer the flower petals of worship to the Guru's lotus feet. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Shri Sadguruve Namaha. Let us bow down in obeisance to all the masters of all traditions, of all times and at all levels of existence. So once again, a very warm welcome to each one of you to this very special session. And we have amongst us a very, very special speaker, Dr. Kalpana Karia. And I and Dr. Karia got connected by sheer chance. I think it was in a program of Guruji, Dr. Premji Nirmal, that we saw each other, and I sent her a link to our Tuesday gatherings and she joined. And she has been joining us off and on. And there was some very personal reason for us to connect because Dr. Karia was unwell due to COVID, and suddenly she found that I was offering some sound healing, and intuitively guided, she decided to take those sessions, even though it was very inconvenient for her. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning when those sessions were being offered here. And those had some miraculous effect, which Dr. Karia shared with me. And I was the one who had just started giving those sessions. So it was a great morale booster for me. So thank you, Dr. Karia, for all those
So
sharing.
much. Thank you so much.
so, so that forged a very, very intimate or a very personal connect between the two of us. And I'm very happy to introduce her to all of you. Dr. Karia is a trained doctor in the Western medicine. She did her radiology from England. And right from her childhood, she was very keenly interested in yoga. Her father was her first guru, and she trained under him. And even when she was studying in England, she was going to all kinds of yoga seminars. And after she finished her education, she came to India. She went to Shivananda Ashram, stayed there for some time. Then she went to Himalayas, met many yogis, great masters, and one of the masters came along with her to Kenya because Dr. Karia is from Kenya. And so her life has been dedicated to practice of yoga, to learning yoga, and all the aspects of yoga. And in 1980, she was appointed as the Director for East African Studies by the British School of Yoga. And she has been teaching yoga and alternative medicine in Kenya for so many years. She has a lot of international students. And she is the co-founder of Yoga Foundation S. So here is a person who has just dedicated her life to yoga, and through her practice, she has raised her merit to an extent that in one of the sound healing sessions that I gave, Lord Krishna decided to bless her with the vision of the cosmic form. So we have somebody who is a high soul, and Dr. Karia, we are very pleased to have you with us, and we welcome you. And Dr. Karia is going to speak to us about the Shiva Swaroda Shastra. It is a scripture which has been revealed by none other than Lord Shiva. And it is about the knowledge of the pranic energy that is connected to the breath and how it can be used to uplift awareness, how it can be used for realizing one's purpose in life, and how it can even be used for achieving goals that we set in material world. It's a complete code of life, and Dr. Karia is going to be speaking about it, so we are very happy. So welcome, Dr. Karia. Now I won't stand between you and the audience. You please take over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. And I really appreciate what, but so I'm very happy to be at this platform. I joined this platform, a long time ago with the Tuesday gathering. And I never knew I was going to be speaking on this platform. I was always listening to great speakers, but it gives me a great honor to be here today and speak whatever little we can share together. So today we will be speaking about Shiv Swaroday, as Pramod Kumarji said, and I'll start with a little prayer to all the masters, although it's already been recited before we start. Thank you. Deep breaths in and out, everybody, palms together in the Namaste Mudra. Agyan Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurue Namaha. I bow down to all my masters and my teachers. And I bow down to all of you for being there today as my teachers as well. Thank you. So we start straight away with the Shiv Swaroday. Now, I don't know how many of you all know about the Shiv Swarodaya and how many of you have read the Shiv Swarodaya, but the Shiv Swarodaya Shastra is basically 395 sutras, and it's a conversation between Ma Parvati and Lord Shiva. Now, it's like the Bhagavad Gita is between Arjun and Lord Krishna. Similarly, Shiv Swarodaya is a conversation between Ma Parvati is asking questions and Lord Shiva is answering. Now, you see, mother is always concerned about her children. And when Ma Parvati saw what's going to happen in the Kali Yuga, people are going to forget, because back in the days, people were using the Swar Gyan very deeply. But then, of course, as time goes by, all the knowledge disappears, and this knowledge had disappeared. So, and Ma Parvati really had this feeling that what will happen to all my children of the universe when this is during Kali Yuga, when things are so bad. So she asked Lord Shiva, and in the 300, and we cannot, I recently done last year, in fact it was last year exactly 16th of April we started the course, and I'd done the whole course for 6 months. Some of my students who did it are also online here. We did the whole course. It took us about 5 to 6 months. It was 75 lessons, and every day we were doing 1 hour, and we covered all the 395 sutras. But if anybody is further interested, they are online. But if you want, I can even, do again with you. If more people are interested, I don't mind repeating it, because the more knowledge you give, the more knowledge you get. So coming back to Shiv Swarodaya. In the first verse, Ma Parvati is bowing down to Lord Ganesh, bowing down to Ma Saraswati Devi. So I also bow down to Lord Ganesh, bow down to Ma Saraswati Devi, the giver of knowledge, and she bows down to Lord Shiva and asks that what is going to happen to people in Kali Yuga, because they're going to be suffering so much with health reasons, with family issues, and that's what's happening now. People are really suffering health, family issues, quarrels, hypocrisy, and all these things are going on. So she asked, and then Lord Shiva answers her about Shiv Swarodaya, and he talks the whole of Shiv Swarodaya. Now, what does Shiv Swarodaya mean? Swar Uday. Swar means what? Swar means, anybody here who can say? Swar means the cycle of breath. Now, every 1 hour and 20 minutes, our breath changes. We think that we are breathing from both the nostrils, but we're not. In the actual sense, we are breathing only from one nostril. Our prana is taken only from one nostril. So either it is the left one or the right one. And that is how, and when it's from both, it's only about 40 minutes in a day when both the nostrils are active. So we're going to be talking about this and which swar to use what, because it took us 6 months to do the whole course in 1 hour. I've tried to squeeze in whatever we can, the main basic points, and we shall try to cover those points. So the Upanishads refer to swara. What is swar? Swar. The Upanishads refer to the swara as Atma Swarup. It is the Atma Swarup. Because why? You can stay without food for many days. You can stay without water for many days, but without breathing, you can't. But at the same time, we are so much aware of our food. Of course, after a meal, we'll say, Abhi raat ko kya khayega? Abhi maine khana kha liya. Straight we're thinking, especially mothers, thinking what am I going to cook? And then drinking. But are we ever aware of our swar? Are we aware of our breathing? without which we cannot even live for more than about 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. If you just hold your nose, I don't know how long you can, but the yogis, of course, hold their breath for much longer. And but the awareness of the breath, Lord Shiva tells Ma Parvati, is most important. And it's so simple. It is within all of us, whichever category you are, whether rich or poor, whether, it doesn't matter what caste you are, what creed you are, whether you are an infant, you're, youngster, whatever level you are. The swar is there since the time you're born, and it doesn't just leave you at the time of death. It carries you into the next platform, the swar, what swar you die with. So at any given time, our one nostril is working either left or right. And for thousands of years, so mankind has been attempting to penetrate the realm of the inner experience. We always want that inner experience, that what is that, especially at yoga level. And then we jump from one branch to the other, doing this. But ultimately, it is all within us. The swar is within us, but we're looking for that divine inner realm everywhere else. So even thinking that, the greatest people, even, they would, even if you look for it everywhere else, but when you realize that it is just within you, that is when that inner consciousness arises. And many people say that those who are preferred can give the inner experiences, can give this, but yoga says that this, as I said, that it is rightfulness for everybody, a perfect or imperfect. You can't say, I'm not perfect, so I'm not going to practice Swar Yoga. I'm not a yogi, I don't practice yoga, but it is for everyone, whether it's a high-born, low-born, everyone can practice this divine experience. And Swar, etymologically, it means the sound of one's breath. Now, when you do nad, that's the nad, the sound of the breath. As we've been attending the sound healing. So the deepest sound healing, yes, externally, all the, the singing balls and that are so divine because they're all connected to your breath, and straight away they can neutralize your swar according to the sound healing. That's why sound healing is like hand-to-hand connected with the Swar Yoga. So therefore, Swar Yoga enables a state of union to be reached with the breath, and even through Swar Yoga, you can practice that divine realm of the cosmic manifestation. Now, basically what happens is that if you observe your breath, that at any given time, only one nostril is active. Both the nostrils are not active, only one nostril, either it's the left or the right. Now, the right one is the Pingala, the left one is Ida. The left one is controlled by the energy of the moon. The right one, the energy of the sun. And at any given time, only one nostril is active. Both the nostrils are not active. Sometimes it's 100% one and 100% one nostril, and then 0% another one. Sometimes it's 90 and 10. Then it's 40 and 50, or it depends. But when it's 50 and 50, then it is not Ida, it is not Pingala, it straight goes into Shushumna. Shushumna is both the nostrils, when both the nostrils, and as I said earlier, both the nostrils are active only only about 40 minutes a day you can feel both the nostrils, because Shushumna means to get into that inner state of consciousness to bring Shiv and Parvati together. This is the divine. Shiv and Parvati are within you. And this is the union. Swar Yoga is the union of Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati, and that is what you want to experience. And not just into meditation, but in anything you do. Lord Shiva told Ma Parvati, anything you do, if you do it according to your swar, then everything will go well in your life. Like I'll go into the detail as to which swar to use for what. But at this moment, I want you all to try and see which swar is, what is your swar, active swar. How do you check it, right? You can either keep your hand here and take a deep breath, and you forcefully breathe out. When you forcefully breathe out, you'll see one is more active than the other. If that's a bit difficult, and sometimes it's 40 and 50, do the Saman Mudra. This is called the Saman Mudra, and with all the 5 fingers, because our mudras are very important. This is the fire, this is the air, and this is the ether, earth, and water. So all the 5 elements brought together, and the Akash Tattva is on the tip, and you just take a deep breath in, only right hand, do not use your left hand, and then, or then gently. Either you go forcefully, but if it's very close, then you go gently, and you will know which swar is active. So in every aspect, you use that swar and you do that work 100%, not even 99%, 100%, your work will be successful. But if you do it with the wrong swar, why do we have so many problems? Like supposing, I'll give you a vivid example. When you eat your food, you're supposed to be eating with the right swar. But when we eat our food, when you're eating with the left swar on, you will get digestive problems. You'll get stomach, ulcers, acidity, so many other problems. All these problems arise because you're eating with the left swar, right? Going to the toilet, you're supposed to go with the right swar. And then if the wrong swar is on, then you get constipation, you don't get, So all these things, when you're having a class, even when you're buying jewelry, this is the swar which is you're supposed to use when you're talking to people, so I will go into the in-depth later. So everything you do, if you're using your correct swar, then your life will be perfected. Honestly, your life will be perfected. And that is what Shiv Swarodaya is telling us. That is what Ma Parvati is trying, Lord Shiva is explaining to Ma Parvati. So usually, so this is how your swar works. But Swar Yoga also explains how the flow of swar changes at regular intervals. This is not always one flow. It is not at all erratic as well. Every hour, or an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes, depends, your swar changes. And you will know when you become aware, that awareness comes within you. Then our monkey mind is not wandering from here to there, here to there. Otherwise, the monkey mind is from one branch to the other. What am I going to do? What happened? This happened, that happened. But when you are aware of your swar, then your conscious, your awareness is in your swara. Then that monkey mind stables and you become in the present moment. Because ultimately, everything revolves in the present moment. But we are never in the present moment. We're always, the pendulum, the monkey mind is going from here to there, here to there. So Swar Yoga is also very, very important to bring your awareness into the present moment. And this is the science. It is not just ordinary this thing. It is a super science that now all the scientists are also going and doing a lot of research. Recently, I even read some journals, I've got a lot of students in Germany, and they are doing also a lot of research on this swar, on the breath cycle, and they call it the breath cycle. But when they call it the breath cycle, it is Swar Yoga. And it also explains exactly what to do at what time, and even the days, certain days, how to wake up, how to leave your house, how to have your meetings. Sometimes you can go to a meeting and you say, oh my God, my meeting was so awful, everything went wrong. Or you might go for an interview and that even is not successful because because you were doing it on the wrong sword. It aims at directly awakening the highest human potential. We have the highest human potential, and Swar Yoga takes us to that realm of the highest potential. And understanding the sword is also understanding the Shiv Tattva within you, right? So now I'll go into the main swaras. There are three main swaras, as I said: Ida, Pingala, and Shushumna. These are the three swaras. And the fact that we breathe alternatively is very significant in Swar Yoga because it allows different swaras to flow at different times. Now, one swara can flow from left and the other right, but you have to exactly know which energy is stimulated here because it stimulates the energy. Now, your right swar is controlling your left side of the brain. Your left swar is controlling the right side of the brain, right? So, and even your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, your all that is your autonomic nervous system, your central nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system. All these nervous systems are controlled by your swara. Now, what happens when we breathe? When we breathe, we're taking breath. But at this point, it changes and it goes into, it becomes the prana. You are absorbing that prana. The breath gets into the prana. And how to take the prana in? It doesn't go here straight away. It goes directly bang into your Muladhara and then into your Swadhisthana. So in fact, it is not by chance that the swara flows sometimes to the right nostril, sometimes to the left nostril. The rhythm of the body is based on the biorhythms, right? It's totally based on the biorhythms, the energy rhythms of the body, and it also relates to the two hemispheres of the brain, as I said, right? And all these three swaras corresponds to the three major systems. We have three major systems in the body, which can be termed as the Trinity. What is this Holy Trinity? We talk about the external Holy Trinity, but it's not external. It is within us. Like mind is one aspect, right? Then the life force is another aspect. And the spirit or the soul is the third aspect. So these are the three aspects: the mind, the life force, and the soul. And the spirit combined constitute the human being. In Swar Yoga, mind is known as Chit. The Chit, we say the Chit, the life force as Prana, and the spirit as Atma, right? So this is the Chit and the Prana and the Atma. This controls what does it control? It controls your sensory nervous system. And basically the nose, the mouth, the ears, the tongue, the tanmatras, basically the tanmatras. Prana controls the 5 organs of the action: the speech, the hand, the feet, the reproductive, and the urinary and excretory organs. The Atma is the overall witness. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that I am the witness, right? And that is what your Atma is. It's the witness in the body. It is not doing anything, but it's witnessing everything. So now when the left nostril flows, it indicates the mental energy, chitta, is predominating, right? And the pranic energy is weak at that time. And then when the right nostril flows, the pranic forces are stronger and mental aspect is weak. When both nostrils operate, of course, together, it indicates that the spiritual energy, the force of Atma is powerful. That's why during when the Sushumna is on, when both the nadis are on, you should not do any work. You should just concentrate on your bhakti, on your meditation, on your divinity. just concentrating on the swara, feeling the, of course, in this lesson, I've not taken about the tattva, but every swar has also the tattva. Our body has got the 5 tattva. What are the tattvas, right? The 5 main tattvas are within this: the Akash tattva, Prithvi tattva, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, right? So these are affiliated with the swara. But that, of course, it comes later on in the course. First, you have to learn about your swara. And swar means also that once you have mastered your swar, then you go into the second aspect. Every time you're taking your swar, then that is also a tattva which is changing. Swar Yoga is the divine knowledge. Swar Yoga says it is the real wisdom within us. Right? Swar Yoga is the ancient science of pranic body rhythms, which explains us how the movement of the prana can be controlled and manipulated. So you can control it, you can manipulate it. It is entirely up to you. But once you master this science, and everything Lord Shiva explains so beautifully to Ma Parvati, if you read the Shiv Swarodaya, it's very, very beautifully explained. So recently, now as I even told you, recently the modern sciences have taken it, like the electromagnetic fields. What are these electromagnetic fields, and what is the behavior of this bioenergy? All this is to do with the inherent energy, the principle of the body, which is your swara, right? And swar Yoga is the practice-orientated science. It is a deep, deep level of science. It is a lifelong discipline. Since the time you start being teacher to the children in school as well, and the children do really well when they try to check their swar, and they do certain things like simple things like when they're doing the cutting, or when they're going for an exam. They have to be on the left swar, and how to change the swar. If you're supposing now, if your right swar is on and you want to, your left swar is on and you have to eat your food, then there are certain methods which I'll come to later to change the swar. Okay, so the wisdom. So by analyzing the deeper breath, through the knowledge of the swar, a sadhak can become a perfected yogi. But no matter how much yoga asanas you do, how much meditations you do, how much, but if you have not perfected your swara, then Babaji, my Babaji, Shamsundar Babaji used to say, all that is 0, 0, 0, shunya, shunya, shunya. But he says in the shunya, 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 if you just do one, you can have 1 0, or you can have millions of 0. 0 is 0, correct? But if only you put 1 in front of it, then what happens, right? What is that 1? What is that 1 when you put that 1 is the swar, your swar. So you can have 1 0, you can have then 10, 2 zeros, 100, 3 zeros. So you can have millions, but all the zeros are 0, shunya, without the knowledge of the swar. And that is why there is so much of difficulties in the world, because people are not following the swar yoga. People are doing things at the wrong swar. Even having a child, even getting married, even going to see, everything Lord Shiva explains so nicely. Even conception, having a conceiving a child, what side and where and which swar should be on, and everything is explained in Shiv Swarodaya to Ma Parvati, because all this is. But you see what used to happen, if you really remember, especially in India, we have all these kings, and all those kings, what did they used to do? They used to use Swar Yoga whenever they went on wars. They went to do somebody, they went to, neutralize everything. They used to send a messenger, how to send the messenger, from which side the messenger has to talk. All that was done through swara. And that is why whichever kings were successful were always dealing with swara. They always have their kul guru in the family. The kings used to have that, and they used to follow. And the kul gurus used to guide them which swara to do what. And that's why the big kings and all that kingdom was very good. But then, of course, when we forget and then greed comes in, lust, anger, and greed are the three major doors to hell, right? So when that comes in, then your swar gets intermingled, you confuse your swar, and confusing the swar just leads to a downfall. So to rise in anything, you need to do the swar yoga practice is very important. Now we'll just go through, through some of the benefits of swar. I've told you most of them now. So Swar Yoga is the practice of understanding the message of the breath. Now you see our body is always giving a signal. So many signals we have, but we don't realize. Every time, you know, that intuition, where do you get those intuitions from? You get those intuitions from your swara. You say, oh, okay, I think this is going to happen, and it happens. I think this person is going to call me, or you're thinking of that person and that person calls you. Must have happened to many people. Telepathy. Telepathy works with swara, because you were thinking of that person with that particular swara, and that swara transmitted, and that person was also on that same swar, and those signals are intermingled, and you realize. But we don't realize these things in day-to-day life. So Swar Vigyan is a science of creating all-round success in life. Our lives are sum total of all the choices of decisions we make till now, right? We could change our lives. Honestly, we could literally change our lives if we knew how to choose the right swar at the right time. The best capacity with the practitioners of swar is wisdom, and it gives so much wisdom. When you have that wisdom of checking your swar and doing your work, it becomes part of your life, right? Then you know that it's like, you know, I'm going to share the screen here. Sorry. Can I? Let me just share the screen here because it's to do with, okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm coming back to Shiv Swarodaya, conversation between Ma Parvati and Lord Shiva. And Shiv Swarodaya Shastra is like the flame of lamp that illuminates the soul. Shiv Swarodaya, Swar Uday means what, right? Because Shiv Swarodaya is a dialogue between Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati, and it is not to Ma Parvati. It is revealed, Lord Shiva is revealing this to each one of us. Swar is the soul. Swar is Lord Shiva himself. He is within us, and we are looking externally everywhere, but he is within us. Everything is energy. What is that energy? Energy is Shakti, and conscious is Shiva. So bringing Shiv and Parvati together is Shiv, the Shiv Shakti is the energy and the consciousness, bringing it together with this divine knowledge of the swar. And there are innumerable benefits of Swar Yoga, like unlimited peace and success can be experienced with Swar Yoga. That Swar Yoga breaks the bondage that are created with Rag and Dvesh. We have so much Rag and Dvesh, means, Dvesh is jealousy, envy, greed. All that is built up, even with little things. We might say, oh, no, I don't have that. I don't know. But by saying I don't have it, you still have it, because that I comes into the ego. The ego platform comes in, right? So and once you know your swara, you know that everybody has the same swara. Everybody has the Shiva and Parvati Shakti within them. So you will look at everybody in that way of Shiva and Parvati. Then you don't have any Rag and Dvesh within you. You don't have any malice against anyone. So be it. It's happening. It's okay. It's happening. It's okay. Right? And so be it. Don't let external things affect you, because what affects this swar is your external things. The temperature, external, our mental status depends a lot. Our swar can change straight away. Our swar can become very irritable if we are, in a very angry mood, or we are really trying to, a jealousy, envy, greed, all that intermingles our swar, and it just builds up and accumulates negative energy within us. Where is this energy, as I said, is Mahaparvati, with Shakti. Shakti is within us. We are depleting the Shakti literally by confusing our swar. Now I give you a vivid example that if you are in a, let's say, you have some children and you tell, I teach in the school, so I know how it is. You tell the children, come on, page 56. Then you say, no, open page 23. No, now we'll do maths. And then after 5 minutes, you say, no, take out your art book. Let's do some art. Within 2-3 minutes, no, this. What are you doing to the children? What are the children going to feel? They're going to feel so perplexed. So this thing, oh my God, what is teacher doing? And they're going to be confused because they're there to learn. So that is what is happening to us. We are confusing ourselves by using the wrong swar at the wrong timing. So practice of Swar Yoga helps in cultivating the correct mindset that leads to liberation. We are looking for liberation externally, everywhere. I'm not against any religion, but in every temples, every aspects, every churches, every ashrams, everywhere we keep on going, looking for that liberation, looking for that peace. Yes, those are the medias as well, but your swar is the main staircase. You want to go up, but when you don't know how to crawl, how are you going to walk? A child has to crawl first in order to walk, right? So these are the stepping stones which you have to, and Swar Yoga helps in lifting the veil of Maya. We are under the veil of Maya and we have to lift it up. And once your awareness is in the Swara, that Maya, what is Maya? Illusion. We are this body. We are never going to die. Everything belongs to me and me and mine, all the time, mine. And when you are aware of the swar, whatever swar I'm taking, you are taking the same swar. All of you, everybody in this universe is taking the same swar. It'll make you realize and understand. Proper knowledge of Swar Yoga gives you confidence in taking even very big decisions of life. You want to buy a property. Do your Swar Yoga and go according to the Swar. Swar Sadhana, you know which Swar, left nostril, which tattva, which element, earth element. You have to know how to know the elements, earth element, and then you go and buy the property, you make the deal, and the deal will come very well. But then you have the left nostril and maybe you have the fire element, it will all backfire. So that is what happens. So big decisions in life. And it is not Swar Yoga. Lord Shiva is not saying, give up your family, give up your this, give up your that, go and live in the ashram. No. Even if you go and live in the ashram, do you think this me and mine will ever go? No. Your Swar is going to be with you. So stay in the ashram which you're put in. We have 4 ashrams. We have the Grahastha ashram. We have one Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa ashram. But all these ashrams are related to your swar. You just keep on changing the swar. You are in the initial stage in the Brahmacharya ashram. Brahmacharya means what, right? It is not just not to look at women, go away from women and that, no. To look at the Shiv Parvati within you, right? And to know your swara. The first stage is knowing your swara is also brahmacharya. Then you are in the grahastha, even if you're in the grahastha ashram. These are all ashrams. And that is why you stay wherever you are. Don't keep on going. Babaji always used to tell us, my daughter is listening and she knows Babaji always used to tell us that don't jump here and there. Under. So success is about doing the right action at the right time. Swar is the key to the right time. So you have to do the right action. Whatever action you want to do it at the right time. Like if you have to, just a vivid example, you want to have, you're going to have your lunch at the lunchtime, right? Between 1 and 2 or 2 and 1 and 3, you'll finish. Even if you go in the kitchen, your mother will say, oh, it's all done, finished, abhi khana khatam, abhi, even. So everything has to be done at the right time. Even if you are anything, even if you go to see a doctor, do it at the right time. You have to see anything, do it at the right time. And what is the key to it? Swar is the key. The swar is the key, and you have that divine key within you. Just try to use it. One can successfully heal many physical issues by correcting swar. When the swar is balanced and in harmony, the physical body is free from all toxins. So when you do everything according to swar, then automatically every toxins will be released and balanced. Swar is an unfailing guide, helps us take the right decisions at the right time, and above everything else, Swar Yoga gives us spiritual progress, bestows material progress, right? Material success you need. It's not that, in this world, life is into two, right? Life is into both. So from 1 minute, I'll just stop sharing now. So life is like a rail, okay? So you're going on the rail, this thing, right and left, but it has to be equal, parallel, right? So you have to have your material life and you have to have your spiritual life as well, side by side. It cannot be that you only proceed in material life, then the rail wheels will go down. So it has to be parallel to each other. Don't neglect just because you think, oh, I am on the spiritual path, so I have to neglect my material things. I can't do this. I can't do this. I don't do this. I don't do this because I'm on the spiritual path. We have seen that everywhere, isn't it? That is the biggest downfall. The other day, Baba used to say that laymen's are much easier to make them understand than Gyanis, because Gyanis think I am Gyani, I am knowledgeable. And for them to understand, he used to tell us that it's like a hard rock, very hard rock, which you cannot break. So this ego should be dropped. And when you know your swara, it's so much easier. Honestly, it's so much easier and nicer that, see, so that is what reading, restraining information through swara is also. The Swar Yoga makes your mind calm, peaceful, and balanced. And once your mind is peaceful and balanced, even in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that manmana mana bhakta, that whatever your mind, right, state of your mind. So if your mind is agitated, then you cannot do anything. This is what to speak of spirituality. You can't even be a good mother. You can't even be a good father. You can't be a good wife or a husband if your mind is imbalanced. Your mind is jittering here and there. But if your mind is calm, in every aspect you put in your life, you will engage those things very perfectly, very nicely. You'll be able to portray it in a very nice way. You become a very nice mother, very nice wife, very nice husband, very nice brothers. It's every aspect, very nice child. So that is what Lord Shiva is trying to tell Ma Parvati. And so these are the main benefits. There are much more, but main benefits of the Swar Yoga. I don't think too much. Okay, sorry, stop me if you think I'm too fast or if I'm just going on and on. Or if you have questions in between, you can always pause and raise your hand. Okay. So what is Shiv Swara Disas? Is like a flame that illuminates the soul. And now in the first verse, Ma Parvati is asking Lord Shiva that Maheshwara Namaskrityam, she's doing pranam, and she is asking, having paid obeisances to Maheshwar, Ma Parvati is asking, I bow down to Guru, I bow down to Ganesh. Who did she take as Guru? Her own husband, and the Guru Tattva within you. You see, we also have 4 types of Guru, but that we can do some other time. Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Vadma Pratiksha Guru, and Chaitya Guru. But that topic we can take some other time. So it's 4 types of Guru even, but then here she was referring to the 4 types of Guru, right? Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Vatma Pratikshta Guru, and Chaitya Guru, right? And then the second verse, she says, O God of gods, O Lord, take mercy on me and reveal to me the knowledge that bestows all prosperity and benefits. So she wants to know about this knowledge. So the seeker of the knowledge, like, but what is she doing here, right? She is saying mercy. Whenever we go to get knowledge, we should have humility, we should have compassion, and we should have devotion. You cannot say, oh no, I want to learn this. Come on, teach me. So, so here there's another aspect in this verse that she's teaching and trying to tell us. And even Lord Chaitanya said in the Shikshamrita, Tranadapi sunichena tarorapi seshana amamina manadina kirtanya sadahari, that one should chant the holy name, one should take the, with a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street, and also tolerant than a tree, devoid of all false prestige and ready to offer respects to others. Are we offering respects to others? Are we offering respects to somebody lower than us? We are always looking at people on the higher platform. In such a state of mind, only one can know their swara. So these are the first 4 verses. Then the third verse says that, tell me, O Lord, how the universe was created, how it changes and how it dissolves. Tell me that which is the determining of the universe. So here again, this is a very game changer verse, because the whole perspective of the student changes here. It is the transformation from physical practice to the knowledge going beyond all the boundaries, right? Beyond all, thus entering into the pure consciousness and to view things to the wholeness. The whole created being, that is what they want to. And so in this, and then Lord Shiva in verse 4, he starts answering the secrets of the cosmic drama. And there are 46 sections into Shiv Swarodaya, and every section he explains something differently. But Shiv Swarodaya, if you read, it's a very jumbled text. Some texts you'll see in the first chapter, and then those text answers you'll see probably in Sutra number 200. So it is a very jumbled one, but he did it purposely. The answers are all jumbled because a sadhak, if you just have straightforward questions and answers, then it's easier. But this was, now when it's all in a jumbled form, then the sadhak has to understand and sadhak has to utilize. And he says, utilizing the breath, you will know. See, so swara, when this is swar uday, what does swar shiv swarodaya? It says shiv swarodaya, but actually shiv swar uday. Swar is when the period of one nostril is over, the breathing automatically passes over to the other nostril in a rhythm. Remember, rhythm. And for almost the same period, this act of breathing is called swara. 1 hour, 1 hour, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 10 minutes, sometimes 90 minutes, depending on how your brain is functioning. And what does uday means? Uday means passing of the act of one nostril to the other. So passing, okay, that passing is called uday. And like Suryodaya, we say, right? Okay, Suryasta, Suryodaya. I don't know, so I'm not so fluent with Hindi, but so Shiv's Swarodaya means is a science of divine formation of the rise of the breathing and from one to the other, right? And now I'm going to just explain to you a few very little, because of time. I'm not going so much into Shiv Swarodaya, but what we're going to do is about the brains. Okay, so the specific functions of the cerebral region of the brain also correlates with the activities of the Ida and Pingala. As I said, the cerebrum and the cerebellum. You have the cerebrum and the cerebellum, and this is symmetrical. So consisting of the right and left hemispheres of the brain. The right hemispheres governs the left and left hemisphere governs the right, as I said earlier. So Ida is connected to the right hemisphere of the brain and Pingala to the left. Ida is the moon, Pingala is the sun. Now, the right hemisphere process information in a diffuse and holistic manner. So what happens to the right side of the brain? It is in the diffuse, it controls orientation in the space, is particularly sensitive in vibrational realm of existence, and those experiences which are entangled and external sense receptors, these all are responsible for our psychic and extrasensory perceptions in life. And then the left hemisphere is in relation to the Pingala Nadi and is responsible for the rational, analytical, mathematical ability. So from this, you can know where you use your right, where you use your left, where you use your Ida, where you use your Pingala, right? So from this particular thing, so in the left hemisphere, information is processed sequentially, and in the right, it is so what happens in the right, in the left one, it is processed, and in the right one, it is compelled, right? So the right hemisphere causes a person to withdraw and become passive and participate to flee. That is what so everything which is going up is to do with the right, which is going down is to do with the left. Now, in a nutshell, I'll just explain to you very, very simple activities where you use your right nostril, where you use your left nostril, and how then we'll come to how to change the nostrils. Okay, it's 3 o'clock, we still have time. So being regular, what happens in the right nostril, if you want to write this down, please do so. Right nostril, so regular intellectual studies. When a child is studying, make sure he's with the right nostril. Of course, in school, the nostril keeps on changing, and that's why you see at every 40 minutes, the lessons change. And when the lessons change, in school even, since time immemorial has been coming, it's never 1 hour lesson, because then everything, the nostrils are changing. So then you're not concentrating with your left nostril, you're concentrating. When the lesson change, you always have a little break. So even when you're teaching your children or when you are learning, make sure that you have that little breaks in between and check your nostril. And again, when it comes back to the left, it doesn't. If it's on the right side, do some other activities a little bit, relax, or you can change. Later on, I'll show you how to change your nostrils, right? And then the left, then in the right nostril, it's learning or teaching martial arts. Those things are okay for right nostril. So in school, how would you know that this is a very good school for your child, right? When you know that how the timetable is arranged. So if the timetable has, let's say, mathematics, right? And then it has some art activity or martial arts or PE in between. And then it has the second lesson as science, where again, you're using your right nostril, left nostril. And then, so all the other activities are using the right. So that is how, back in the days, in the olden days, that is how the timetable of Gurukul, they were in the Gurukuls, they were not proper schools. So in the Gurukul, the students were taught according to the Swar cycle. So that's why Gurukul students were so much intelligent, because they were learning martial arts, than this. They were learning bow and arrow shooting, than the right nostril, right? And they were learning science, mathematics, and whatever subjects, anything other, they were doing the left nostril. So that is, which is using the mind, right? And then long-term activities. So when you're doing any long-term activities, then like building, you want to build a house, then make sure you start with the left nostril, okay? Not with the right nostril. You want to go on a very long journey, then leave the house with the left nostril, okay? Temporary activities with the right nostril. Okay, then business requiring stability. So when you have a business which requires more stability, more this thing, you want to prosper in. Sometimes, you might see 2 same shops, maybe a hardware shop, and the other person says that mera kuch kaam hi nahi chal raha hai. Nothing is happening. I'm just sitting idle, and look at that person across me. He's minting money. He's really like, and look at me. And then who do we blame? Who do we blame? Who do we blame? Anybody? Who do we blame here?
The fate, God.
God.
Yeah.
God, we blame our naseeb. Mera to naseeb hai hi nahi. Right? So straight away you blame naseeb. Ki mere naseeb mein nahi hai to kya hoga? So, but it's not your naseeb. It's not God. God is within you. It is your breath. You're using the wrong breath. How can you prosper? How can you, so that is why the business requiring mobility. Now, when you have a business which requires running about and mobility, like yoga teachers, physiotherapists, all these things, when you need all that, then you need to start with your right nostril. Start. Then it keeps on changing by itself, but start with the correct nostril, okay? And then worshiping your guru. When you go to a guru, always be humble. Always your mind should be mellowed. You need the moon energy, and the moon energy is to do with of course, which one? Which nostril? When you're worshiping
left.
Yes,
left.
Right? But you're seeing the guru with the left. But when you want to go and see the king or your president or a minister, right? Or any CEOs of a company or that, then which nostril would you be using?
Left only.
No. Right. Because it's aggressive, right? This is subtle, but you're going to meet this, you're going to address officials, you're going to address a minister, you're on a upper, right? It's all going up. The energy is going
up. When you are addressing, then it's okay. But when you are just meeting a prime minister, then you have to be on your left nostril.
Yeah, of course, meeting a prime minister is a different. Yeah, but when you're just meeting this, and when you're addressing the officials, then your energy should be at the higher level. When this, you're deflecting and you're affiliating up. So that's, and then playing musical instruments, singing, dancing, mantra chanting. And of course, what Goshi teaches us all the time, the musical instruments, musical healing. What do you use? Which nostril? So now it's going to be an interaction, okay? Which nostril then? Playing musical instruments, singing, dancing. Come on.
Left only, I think.
Left. Very good. Very nice. But when you're writing manuscripts, when you're practicing Tantra, Yantra, Tantra Yoga, what are you going to use?
Left.
No?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you're chopping wood, lighting a fire, which nostril?
Right.
Very good.
Right.
Excellent. But when you're in the garden, when you're planting seeds, you want a long term, what are you going to use?
Left.
Very good, right? So when you're going now, building wells, building ponds, swimming pools, when you're building that is the left, okay? Cutting jewels, gems, even cutting your nails. When you sit to cut your nails, check your nostril. When you cut your nails, what nostril should you have? Right. Very good. Okay. And when you're cutting your hair? Right again. Okay, very good. And when you're combing your hair? Left, because you want long term. You want your hair to settle the whole day. You don't want it to, be fuzzy in a couple of hours. So you see, and then when you're, and another thing, you see, if you want to really, when you're doing meditation. Okay, tell me, meditation, which nostril?
Left.
No, the Sushumna Nadi, is it?
Yes.
Meditation is, okay. When you're performing, like, let's say, okay, you want to open up a bank account. So what are you going to use? Bank account?
Left.
Yeah, it should be increased, not then right.
Now, I'll give you a very nice tip to prosper in money, because everybody wants, of course, money is very essential for life. So when you give charity, okay, what you do, you're either writing a check, or you're writing, or you have cash in your hand, even if it's 100 rupees and somebody's begging at your window, or, you know, at this, in the car, make sure it's the left nostril, you inhale, and then you give that charity. Or if you're giving a higher charity, and it will multiply, it will definitely multiply a lot more. So if you're giving 1,000 rupees, it will come into, you know, for about maybe 10,000 or more. Somehow or the other, in your business deal, or in your, somehow or the other, you'll receive it back. And this is the fact, honestly. But if your right nostril is on and you're giving charity, that charity is wasted. It doesn't take you anywhere up. It doesn't take you down. It just, you know, so it is totally wasted if you, yeah. So that is what it's important, which at what, just my phone, I put it outside. Okay, sorry. So that is one thing. Now, other things which I just want to, in a nutshell, I'll explain. When you go to the washroom, when you go to the toilet, make sure it's the right nostril, then you'll see you won't have any later problems. But if your left nostril is on, then you have to change the nostril. Now you might say, there's certain thing you might say that, but I have to go and my left nostril is on, what do? You can't change the swar. Call of nature comes, and call of nature, isn't it? But of course, you will see call of nature will not come if your left nostril is on. That call of nature will only come when your right nostril is on. But if you're constipated and you want to go, then you change your swar. Now, another thing, if you go to buy jewelry, okay, any even if you buy a earrings or a pen, anything, you buy some jewelry, what nostril do you think you should have? Which nostril?
Right.
Right.
Left. Left.
Left. You want it short term. You don't want it long term.
Right.
Oh, right.
Come on, right, left, right, left. When you go to, it's left. It's left, okay? Now, another thing I'll teach you. You're going for an interview for job, or you're going for interview to the school or whatever, right? You're going for an interview. Then you make sure that you're, like, if you have left house, your right nostril, if you, whichever swar, you can't change swar in front of, you know, your boss or your, you know, who is going to interview you. So what you do is check your swar. If it's right, then you sit like this, and the person is sitting on your right side. Okay, just turn your head a little bit this way. I know you will not go face to face, you turn a little bit this way, and then you see whatever aapka jo kaam hai wo ha bol dega. But if you're sitting like I'm sitting this way, and my left is closed, okay, my right is on, and I'm talking to him, then, but if I'm sitting in the middle, then it'll be like, you know, but normally when you want your work done, then you keep on, you know, make sure the nostril is,
Kalpana ji, the
Yes.
moment you tilt yourself when sitting across an interview, he will straight away reject you.
they'll not reject. If your swar is correct, at least
becomes,
you can keep on turning your face. They'll not slightly, I'm not saying completely, but you can slightly tilt your chair slightly this way, and you can slightly sit this way, isn't it? Thoda to ho sakta hai. So at least that swar is talking. The cosmic energy is manifesting to a positive. But when it's closed, then the cosmic manifestation is on the negative. But no Shushumna. Now Shushumna is wicked, it says in certain slokas in the Shiv Swarote. Because Shushumna Nadi should only be used, and only be used for your meditation, for prayers, for yoga. I mean, not complete yoga asanas, but maybe when you're in yoga nidra, or, you know, all those things need your Shushumna, right? So when your Shushumna is on, and even if you don't, when you're in a deep state of that meditation, automatically Shushumna will start. Automatically Ida and Pingla will calm down, and Shushumna will start. Both the nostrils, you'll check. But if you are saying that you're in meditation, okay, aap om bol rahe meditation ho, and aapka man nahi hai, your mind is wavering from here to there, monkey mind, then that means that your Sushumna is not there. Your right nostril is on. Never meditate on the right nostril. Now, why is Sushumna Nadi called wicked at certain times? Because you should never do like getting married with Sushumna Nadi. No, it will end up in a divorce. Cooking with Sushumna Nadi, no, people will not like your food, right? So many things which you do with your Sushumna Nadi, the household things you should not do with Sushumna Nadi. Sushumna Nadi only for this. That's why it's only 40 minutes in a day the Sushumna is active. Some people, you might think, nahi, mera to dono swar chal raha hai. My both swars, no. It may be 40, 50 or 45%, 50%, but it will not be complete. So that you have to make sure that it's complete, and you see, you yourself will see. Shiv Swarodaya is there. You can Google and get a copy. And I have a copy. If you want, I can put it on the group. Yeah. And it's amazing, honestly, everywhere. And if anybody wants any further lessons about it, what to use. Now, when you're going for surgery, even you make sure it's on which nostril? Left. But when you're going to a doctor and just for a subtle thing right now, these are all so many things I've already told you that you can just contemplate by yourself that is this what I'm doing? Is it lowering or taking me to a higher, and which sword to use? Okay. Secondly, every day what to do. Okay. Every day on waking up, half an hour before waking up, your swar, and I'm sure you must be waking up before sunrise. Always wake up before sunrise. After sunrise, you check your swar, it's not going to work, your day is not going to be okay. But you might think, oh, aaj mera din itna acha raha. Sometimes you say, you know, there's a saying in English, I came out of the wrong side of the bed. Everything goes wrong in your day, and you say that I must have jumped out of the wrong side of the bed. You know that phrase? Many of you maybe know it, correct? So why is that phrase, I jumped out of the wrong side or I got out of the wrong side of the bed? When you wake up, right, when you're still, this is so important, and please try and do it every day. It's very nice. There's few tips I'll give you for every day, okay? So when you lie down, okay, check your swar, all right? And then you wake up, if your right nostril is on, left, then I'll tell you the days as well, but okay, so if you know that your right is more predominant or left, whichever is predominant, right? Whichever is predominant, what you do is, whichever is predominant, you try to, I don't know why it's not very silent. Okay. Whichever is predominant, what you do is you turn on that side. So if the right side is predominant, turn on right side, and then you put that foot with the threshold. You know, threshold, you put that foot first. I always, you know, my father, I learned a lot from my father. My father's yoga, and he always, I don't know how I, you know, he always used to put like one leg up here like this, or as say, you know, in the morning when he used to wake up, you know, the one leg up here and the other leg is down. And I always used to wonder, why is he doing that? But he always, every day in the morning, used to check and then put that one foot like this and the other foot on top. So put one foot, whichever is active, put that foot, okay? And then you also say the mantra, you know, before that, well, you know, the mantra of Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Saraswati, Karamadye Tumagori, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Then you fold your arms, but this is the Anjali Mudra. You say that Anjali Mudra, you first check your swar. In the Anjali Mudra, you say the Karagre Vasate Lakshmi because it's a giver mudra, right? And then after that, palms together, Samudra Vasane Devi Parvata Sanamandale Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam Padas Parshakshama Shami. So I'm putting my foot on you, Mother Earth, please forgive me. We are asking, Mother Earth is none other than Ma Lakshmi, and we're putting our foot on her, and so we're asking for forgiveness. But now you put, before you put your foot, you put that hand on Mother Earth, and you just touch Mother Earth and just take it over. And then with the threshold, you put your foot. You can do the other ones, but you can only do your foot as well. That's also fine. But you put your foot with the threshold, and then you slowly just sit for 2 minutes. Don't just jump out of the bed. Jumping out of the bed is not good. Whole day will go bad. And then you try to, when you sit, try to align your breath with the universe, as what Rajan just taught us, the 3-step rhythmic breathing. That is also excellent. I find it so good. And you do that, and then you slowly get up and you take that right foot, if it's right, I'm talking about right, if the right swar is on, you take the right foot first, and then the left, right, left, right, left, okay? Then you go to your bathroom, you do all your activities. According to your swara, of course, you check your swara, you go to the bathroom, and then eating your breakfast, right nostril again, left nostril will give you stomach problems, stomach ulcers, stomach, all that. And then when you're leaving the house, when you're leaving your house to do any work, check your swar. Okay, check your swar, whether it's right or left, and then put that foot out first with the threshold. Okay, but threshold, not just walk, put it and threshold. Okay, and then you proceed, and you see how beautiful your day will be. If you're entering your office, make sure. So all doorways, try to use, I mean, even if you cannot remember all doorways, you at least remember going into this with waking up and leaving your house, eating, and going to the bathroom and that, and bathing. When you're going to be bathing with cold water, you have to have your right nostril on. When you're going to be bathing with hot water, you're going to have the left nostril on. It's the other way around. Okay, so even bathing, your nostril. And so those are the main things which you can do every day, right? And of course, for children, there's so many things. And then what you do at work, I've already told you. So these are the main. And another thing which, okay, I've still 10 more minutes. So another thing which is important is every day in the morning, do the Vishnu Mudra. And from Vishnu Mudra, you do your alternate nostril breathing, or you do your Nadi Shodhana. Now, Nadi Shodhana is very, very important. It says very clearly in Shriswarodaya, but how many times? You breathe, inhale, hold, exhale. So 1:1:2, 1:1:2, but not this way. Not, you see, the Vishnu Mudra, these are the 5 elements. This is the fire, air, ether, earth, and water. So you do not want your air, you do not want your ether, right? You only want your jal and your prithvi tattva and your agni tattva. That even you're not pressing the nostrils. Usually when people are doing anuroma, which is fine, I mean, I know they're doing, you should never ever hurt your nostrils. You have all your 7 chakras here as well. You have your 7 chakras down. You have your chakras when you do your Pad Bandh. Maybe once we can take the lessons on Pad Bandh, Hasta Bandh. When you do you are taking Mother Earth energy in your body. That's also your Muladha Chakra. But you have three places where you have your Muladha Chakra. Mool, Adhar. Mool means the root. Adhar is the support. From your feet, when you do your Pad Bandh, the roots come out and you take the energy from Mother Earth. And that energy rotates inside you as prana. And then, of course, at the base of the spine. And then here, you have your Muladha Chakra, your Swadhisthana, your Manipuri, where the bone is, right? And you have your Anhata, you have your Vishuddha Chakra, and then here, of course, your Agya Chakra. So, you don't disturb these chakras. You don't disturb the alignment. So that is the reason it says in Shriswarodaya, and all this is in Shriswarodaya very nicely. You take it very nice, just this way, okay? This way, start with all together and very gently. Your body spine should be straight and relaxed, and you just plug it. So as if you're plugging. So this position should be only this much, and slowly you're inhaling from the active swar. Sometimes people say that I'm doing Anulom Vilom every day, but I'm not getting any benefits. I'm doing Nadi Shodhana every day, but I don't know what's happening. But whatever you do it little, but do it correctly. That's what Babaji always said. Thoda karna, lekin perfect karna. Itna sar nahi karna or waste ho jana. So little, but the quality is more important than the quantity. But sometimes you think, no. If I do it for 60 rounds, 70 rounds, then I'm, just do little. So then this, you inhale very gently. So now my left is on. So very gently, okay, this way, only very gently, I'm pressing my right and hold it. So if I do it on Babaji's mantra, it's okay. You can even just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold very gently, but don't press. Don't press like this. You're disturbing your prana. You're disturbing your prana shakti. And so very gently, you just block it with your fingers. Block your pulse, okay? At same time. So it's 5 you inhale, 3, 4, 5, and very gently you remove this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very gently. Very gently. So you see, when I'm doing, my tip is not moving. So मेरा मूल आधार मूल पे है. अपना जो आधार है, what our support is, we are taking this way and that way and that way. So we are messing around with our Radha. So we will not get that. We'll get benefits, but not that much. So he says in Shiv Swar Yoga, it says this should be done 80 rounds every morning. 80 rounds if you do, and then you start your day, and then you don't need. And then of course 2 main pranayams are explained in Shiv Swar Yoga, are this and the Shanmukhi Mudra. But Shanmukhi Mudra, it has to be Guru Parampara. I will show you maybe some of the lesson that you want to see now. But those are the very, very important ones. And then your swar, what happens when you do your Nadi Shodhana, your nadis become aligned. Then your Ida knows when to start, your Pingla knows when to start, because your mind is already into that alignment, and it aligns you to the universe, right? So try to be in that alignment, try to be focused, and try to do even little but correctly. Yeah, so these are the main things what you need to know. Well, I think time is up already. I've taken too much of your time, but if there's anything else, just do let me know. Yeah, so do you want to know about Shanmukhi as well? That's
Sure.
okay, fine. So Shanmukhi Mudra again. So Shanmukhi Mudra, you know this, as I said, fire, air, ether, earth, and water, right? So you need to do the Earth Chandra Mudra first. This is the Earth. You always start with Earth Chandra Mudra to calm you down. So Earth Chandra Mudra, and you inhale and exhale, and first you check your swara, okay? And then take your, and then if the left is on, put the left in your ear, but don't knock the lobe. You put this inside completely, okay? Completely. So first you put the left on, and then you start with the left. If your left swar is on, if your right swar is on, you start with the right side, okay? So your left, and then very, very gently, this is blocking here, and this is here. You put your right, and you have to block your lips like this. Then your ether here. So it's your water and earth on your lips. So these are your maram points as well. And then this is just, don't press the eyelids completely, the eyelashes gently, and you should be in this state. And then you very, very gently, you open, you inhale. Okay, very, very gently and slowly you will inhale, you will hold your breath, right? But there are 2 ways I'll show you. You hold your breath, and you can do your Khechari Mudra inside, but that's at a higher level. That when you want to release, you very, very gently and slowly release. That's one method. Another method, you do Kaki Mudra here. very gently you release step by step from your nose, not with a force. It should not be done. Or don't ever release the Shanmukhi Mudra. You're holding, okay. Okay. No, don't do that. Don't reach to that level, then you're disturbing the energy. Okay. So everything, the way you do it, the way you remove. जैसे ऊपर जाते हो ऐसे ही नीचे आ जाना. Right? So, okay. So my left is on. Okay. So here I've started. Then this. All right. Okay. And completely. So you see, coming out, the way you went in, you first open up your ether, right? So when you're done it, then you want to breathe again, you're opening your ether, okay? And then, so very, very gently, each one in turn, then the air, and then you go into your Prithvi and Jal. And then once all that is out, then very, very gently, one, whichever is the dormant, right? I've started the left, so I remove the right, I put my hand here, I remove the left, I put my hand there. Then the same effect you have to experience without doing this. Without doing this, you still feel you cannot hear anything. You know, all your 5 tanmatras here, you are really trying to absorb the energy and you're energizing them and vital energy. So these two you try to do, and then, but even if you don't do Shanmukhi, you need a lot of practice because more, you know, and then you go into Shambhavi, and that is at another level. We'll talk about it some other time. But then, if you just do the Nadi Shodhana every day, but correctly, no sound. There should not be any sound, soundless, right? Seamless. There should not be any seams in between, right? And silent, complete silent. So even you are not hearing. Same when you go here, right? You're closing the 5 elements. Okay, complete withdrawal. This is Pratyahara. Right? What is Pratyahara? We talk about the eightfold systems of yoga, but Pratyahara is one of them. And by Shanmukhi, you try to train your mind to go into Pratyahara. When you train your mind to go into Pratyahara, that is when your Shiv Shakti starts, the energy starts awakening. And when that energy starts awakening is when, but don't disturb it. Like, you know, you might have heard many people that do it, but if you don't do it correctly, even if there's a slight mistake, you will not get that benefit. So do step by step, thoda, but do it correctly. Don't do so much, because I know we always are, the biggest problem we have in this day and age is what? Anybody?
Action plans.
I don't have time. We are the poorest of the poor. A richest person, when he says, I don't have time, I feel he's the poorest of the poor. We have everything. We might have cars, we might have money, we might have bungalows, but we don't have time. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, time I am. Which time? Time is of 2 factors, right? So that time, value that time, okay? The unit time, utilize your unit time rather than the clock time. Every unit time, if you utilize it to the fullest, you see how much benefit and how easy it will be, you know, otherwise the monkey mind will keep on going, tang, from here to there. So anyway, with these few words, it's already time. Thank you so much, and I really apologize if I've said anything which was, you know.
Doctor, you had talked about some meditation also.
Yeah, we can. You do some meditation now?
Oh, why not?
Okay, we can. What I would have preferred to do everybody to do Shanmukhi Mudra.
Oh, wonderful.
In Shanmukhi, Everybody goes into this. Okay, so you're not listening to any external, you're not thinking, just try to be within yourself and think of your swar. You're closing both the swars, but then you can do passive breathing in the swar. When you're meditating, you do your Shanmukhi Mudra, okay? And then you just do passive breathing. So this is close, then open slowly, close, open slowly. Do your passive breathing and just become aware of which nostril is working. That is all. So maybe you might not be able to hear me, right? Everybody, you can even put your, I can put the gallery view and you can put your video modes on if you want me to check on you. And then we go into the Shanmukhi, everybody. Okay, so whichever, first check your nostril, everybody. Check whichever nostril is on, right or left. Then take that hand, the active hand with the Chandra Mudra, okay? Earth Chandra Mudra to calm everything down just for a moment. Deep breaths in and out. Take your Earth Chandra Mudra. Now very, very gently and slowly insert the active, hand, the thumb into the ear of the active swara. And very gently, now the passive one. And now with the little finger and the ring finger, place it around your lips and block your lips. Gently place your middle finger on your nose, on your nostril. Place your index finger on your eyes, elbows straight. Now just open your nostrils slightly, the fingers, the middle finger, and take a deep breath. Close it and holding the breath, or whenever you want to inhale out and in. Feel that swar going into which nadi? Is it going into Ida, into Pingala? Feel your prana. At this point, you will be able to feel your prana go into a deeper state of Pratyahara. Feeling your prana, feeling your prana, feel your prana. The gentle, involuntary breaths can go on through the nose, even though the middle finger is touching your. Keep on into a deep state of prana shakti with the union of Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati is within you. Go into a deep state, and now at this moment, I will stop talking for a few moments. I want you all to listen to your inner nad, the anhat, the unstruck sound. Listen to the inner nad of your body and go into that deep state of inner Shakti. Your heart has a message for you. Try and decode that message. Your heart has a message. Decode the message. Your swara has a message for you. Try to decode that message. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat with the rhythm of the universe. Maybe at some point you can see the divine dance of Lord Shiva. Your whole body is oscillating with this divine rhythm, the rhythm of the swara, which is affiliated directly to the cosmic rhythm. Go deeper and deeper into it. Feel the laughter inside you, the divine happiness within you, within your mind, within your body. Feel the divine union. Listen to the inner nod, the inner message, in the rhythm of the outer cosmic. The divine consciousness is in the rhythm at a deeper, deeper, deeper level. Feel very happy within you. That divine Anand as you go inward, you reach to the Anandmaya Kosha, which is the divine sheet of Anand, divine bliss, divine happiness, eternal peace, eternal happiness. And now, very, very gently and slowly and gently lift your fingers, your middle finger, your ring finger. Lift your fingers, your ears. Very gently remove from the dormant. And then the other hand, keep them on your laps. Feel your swara, both the hands on the laps, on the knees. Feel your swara. Feel that divine happiness. Feel your breath. Become aware of your swara, of your prana. Where is your prana going? Straight into the Muladhara and Swadhisthana. Should chant Om 3 times and a prayer. Deep breath in, little through the mouth. Om. Om. Palms together in Namaste Mudra in the center of your chest. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace be to all, peace be to all, peace be to all. Very gently and slowly rub your palms. Your palms against your eyes, very gently, not pressing. Maybe you can see some colors, some shapes. Be very happy, smile, nice mini cosmic smile on your face. A beautiful smile in your heart. Beautiful smile on your eyes. Beautiful smile on your ears. Beautiful smile on your nose. Then very, very gently and slowly bring your palms down and open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So much. Thank you. Any questions or anything anybody wants to say?
I think after the meditation, people
Doctor.
would have forgotten. Anybody wants to say something? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, Doctor
Yes.
Kalpana.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Already, namaste.
Beautiful experience. Namaste.
So much. By the way, I'd like to introduce Reggie. Reggie is the Secretary of the World Hindu Foundation in South Africa. So,
Most welcome to our program, Mr. Reggie.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
It's a wonderful session. It was very enlightening, especially this session. And I think it was very beautifully done. I'm so glad that I came in and the network played its part as well. Thank you so much.
thanks. Thank you. And I'm very thankful to Brahm Prakash Gorji for allowing me this. Thank you.
No, it's your platform. It's everybody's platform. You know.
Yeah.
That is
Thank you, Hemaji,
something
so much. Thank you.
I decided, and it was very wonderful that the way you not just introduced the basics of Shiv Sarodha Shastra, but also, you know, towards the end when it came to the practice, then the way you explained the mudra and did the meditation, it was really enlightening, wonderful. And the outer world just disappeared. So everything was gone. It was a big shunya. And it was a magnificent experience, wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, all of you.
Anybody wants to ask any questions or maybe say something to Dr. Karia? Please unmute yourself. I think people are just zapped. Yes, Kundraji, you want to say something?
This recording, would it become available to us through the group?
We have, we put all the recordings on YouTube.
I'll
And
send you the link. Yeah.
there is a channel in my name. You can see the name in my window, Brahma Prakash Gaur. And so if you type it in YouTube, you will come to my channel, and all the sessions we have, the recordings are placed there. And of course, we put the link in our Telegram group, and Dr. Karia is very much there. And I will send her a link send her the link. So she can share it with anyone who wants.
Yeah, I'll do that with the other students. Yeah, that's nice.
So it will be available.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Namaste, Gaur sir. Namaste, Dr. Karia. I have a question.
Yeah. Sure.
Please go ahead.
I wanted to know what is the suitable practice time or combination sequencing of the Shanmukhi Mudra in an average day. Is it something I could do after my yogasanas, or do you suggest morning, evening, bedtime? I just wanted to know what are the suitable times to introduce it into a practice.
Very good question. Like you see, okay, as I said, Anulom Vilom, you do it in the morning when you wake up, right? And if you want, you can do the Shanmukhi Mudra in the morning as well. But otherwise, even nighttime before you go to sleep, and you do the Shanmukhi Mudra, and then you sleep, and you see how beautiful that sleep, you sleep like a baby, really nice. And you go really into that Yog Nidra, level. If you do Yog Nidra after Shanmukhi Mudra, it's excellent. So even before doing Yog Nidra after yoga session, you do the Shanmukhi Mudra and then go into Yog Nidra. Because straight after doing that, and then you just don't open your eyes and you go into the Shavasana and you go into Yog Nidra, it just takes you to another level. So
I must introduce Shweta to this group. Dr. Karia Shweta is from Bangalore. She is an architect. And she is an avid yoga practitioner. She's been practicing asanas for some time. And she came to one of our sessions in the free sound healing sessions, and she joined one of the intensives, and she had amazing experiences.
Yeah.
And now she is doing an advanced course of yoga with the Bihar School of Yoga group in Bangalore. So she is going to be the master of the future.
Very, very nice. Congratulations. Thank you. They're very nice, Shweta.
So that is why she has this question, how to integrate it into the practice.
Yeah, very nice. No. And even afterwards, if you have any questions, I think my number is on the group. So I think you're on the group and you can message me WhatsApp. And the whole of Shiv Swarodaya, the course is on my Facebook channel. So you can, if you want to go through any of the other, this thing, it is on the Facebook channel. Yeah. So you can go through that as well.
Okay.
Dr. Kalpana, I think it was a wonderful session.
Just Kundraji will just pin you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Namaskar, Dr. Kalpana.
Thank you.
Wonderful. It was wonderful. I'm still in trance. I'd get to get back.
Yes.
I've been doing these things, but I think the energies which exuded from you, they were phenomenal. It multiplied like I've been doing it earlier, but today I felt there was a different energy altogether, and it was absolutely stunning. And great. I'm so very glad, thankful to Gaur Saab and Himaji, particularly Gaur Saab, because he's a person who picks up nuggets and gets them all to us. And I'm so very glad that I get to connect with you. We would love to have more of your knowledge shared with us. I'll request if you can share some amount of literature for us to read in the time. It would be very great. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put up the, some of the slides, and also, and it's all even on the Facebook, the whole thing is there. I'll just put my link, and then if you just type out Shiv Sarodaya, the whole Shiv Sarodaya comes, the lectures from Sutra 1 to Sutra 395. I've taken all the 395 sutras.
Because you keep doing a lot of things, all connect these things from different angles, right?
Yeah,
so like
true.
pranic energy and sound healing and everything is actually all revolving around it and
It's
things.
true.
So
It's
so
true.
the more you read, the more comprehensive understanding it happens. And so that's
but
amazing.
I'll keep on sharing whatever is there. I'll just share it on the group. Thank
And
you.
I agree with Major General Kundra that, today the energy during the session was very high. I was almost in meditation throughout and kept flitting in and flitting out. And suddenly, it was the crescendo, that the Shanmukhi Mudra that we did was the crescendo of that. So thank you very much, Dr. Karia. It was an amazing session.
Thank you.
Apart from what we all learned about, these practices and what to do when, but the sheer energy of the program was very high, very high. So we have to really be grateful to you for that. You brought you brought not just your own individual energy, but the energy of your gurus and teachers. And we always feel that this platform is not anybody's platform. It is the master's platform. That's the message I had got.
It's
That
true.
masters told me that it is not your platform or anybody's platform. It is our platform. And
True. That's right.
so
That's true.
masters will come and teach through their disciples. So
Yeah.
be open and be the facilitator. So I'm just being a facilitator. so whatever the masters wish, they just come and people benefit from that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
So Hema, you want to say something? You keep spotlighting everybody. Let me spotlight you.
It was a wonderful session, Dr. Karia. I had some knowledge about it, but today there was a more deeper knowledge about things. But yes, like Kundraji said, would like to have some literature. Still, it's not very clear which swara. I mean, still there is some little confusion in the head rating. When you were asking questions, I could say I was saying the wrong swara many a times. So there's some clarity is
I'll send
more
you
needed on. Yes, that will be very helpful. For a very enlightening session, definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're meeting again next Tuesday for Chayopasana. Chayopasana is part of Swar Yoga. But then if you want one more, a few more sessions on the Tattva, because just Swar Yoga and then you go into Tattva.
This was something that I had come to my mind, that perhaps a session on the Tattva, the 5 elements, would be very important.
Yeah, maybe next session we can have on Tattva and then later Chayopasana, whatever you say, or Chayopasana.
That would be perhaps in order.
Yes, that
we go
will
to
be in
Tattva
order.
and then Chayopasana. Yes.
Then it's continuation.
Can we complete the Tattva in one session?
Well, of course. I'll try to.
No, if it doesn't get completed, Hema, we can have a special session on a Sunday.
Yes,
because we are all booked. Our programs are booked, but we can always have a special session on a Sunday.
No, what I was thinking, if she needs at least 2 or 3 sessions, then we can have it in July. We can have Chayo Apasana on the next Tuesday, and then we can have an elaborate session on Tattvas in July separately, when Rajan Bhai will take another break.
Yeah.
Because he's traveling to US. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why to be compact
Please,
in all these
like
things.
today,
Yeah.
when everything, I was jumping from one to the other, you must have noticed. But because
we could see your predicament. What to
Yes.
say and what
a
not to
little
say.
bit of everything.
Because
and I was
she was trying to give us everything from there, from here. Then she was
Yeah.
with something else. Okay, give me this also.
But otherwise,
yes.
in my other sessions, one verse, one day. So it was just
Ah.
imagine. So it took us 395 like sutras.
So Dr. Karia, you can think whether you
Yeah,
want to take
fine.
Chayopasana the coming Tuesday or
Fine.
Tattvas, you please
Yeah.
let us know. Or you
Yeah.
can take sessions on Tattvas, 2 sessions or 3 sessions, whatever you need in the month of July.
Tattva, you do need more sessions. You do need to know which tattva, how, what the tattvas are. So we can take that later, and I can do Chayopasana tomorrow.
July is not far away, so we can do it.
July is not far away, yes.
Yeah.
It should be more elaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Yes.
fine. We'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank
So
you so much.
I'll just end with a Shanti Pat.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Om Sarvesham Sastir Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhave Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May peace and auspiciousness prevail everywhere. Thank you, Dr. Karia. Thank you, everyone. And we'll meet next week.